Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Very quickly, what I'm going to be talking about is about the bank a little bit. I'm sure you know about Axis Bank, but just a little bit about what we do, the current landscape, particularly in the space of collections and payments, digitizing India, and some new technologies of the future. Axis Bank, we are the third largest private sector bank. We work across the entire spectrum from microfinance on one side to large corporates on the other side. So we're a full service bank across retail and corporate with a special focus on government business. For everybody from the government who's here, we can provide you, we have branches and offices in more than 2,000 locations across the country with over 4,000 branches. So therefore, we will be able to provide you with not just a digital presence, but a physical presence as well in many of the towns and locations that we have across the country. And so therefore, we will be able to serve you, right down to the panchayats and talukas and such like, and which is what, for example, on the PFMS platform, something that we are doing currently. We have a large footprint of ATMs. We work with banking correspondents as well. So the ability to sort of disburse the last mile cash is something that we are able to do, and thanks to the large ATM network and the BC correspondents that we have. We are also one of 3 authorized banks within the private sector for the last 13 years to be able to provide banking services to various central and state governments across the country. If you look at it, the way that we look at payments is really on 2 sides. One is on the collection side, and 2 on the payment side, and across the entire gamut, whether it is on the collections, utility bills, education fees, EMD, housing schemes, and so on and so forth. And similarly on the payments, and this is something that every department, every government entity is grappling with on a day-to-day basis. Payments, contractor payments, salary payments, once again EMD, auto refunds, and so on and so forth. And these are sort of problems, and we have solutions across the entire gamut of segments and sectors: smart cities, healthcare, agri. Once again on the transit side, ULBs and education, and we'll speak about a few of the use cases as we go forward. Similarly, if you look at it from a customer perspective as well, what I've done here is to put the various payments, and if you look at payments on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, how many of these payments have already got digitized, and how many is the opportunity for us to be able to digitize. And what you will find is that, generally speaking, particularly in metro and urban areas, a large part of the daily spends have got digitized. I mean, so therefore taxis, Uber and Ola being an example, IRCTC. I mean, I don't see anybody standing in line anymore to buy a train ticket, for example. And we are already seeing in some of the larger cities, parking and tolls, etc., have already got digitized. Similarly, on the yearly payments, for example, tax collections across the country are now pretty much digitized. But I think some of the other things like monthly stuff, maid, driver salaries, education, transfer, travel, some of those have still to get digitized. So therefore, if you look at it from a customer perspective, I would argue that maybe we're about 30-40% down the line in able to digitize sort of payments of various types, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, whether it is education, utilities, and so on and so forth. And so what is the big digital challenge? I mean, I think very quickly put, as we talk to governments across the country, a lack of proper infrastructure, the ability for us to be able to simply plug and play, that is something that we are able to do particularly well in the private sector, is clearly a challenge as we get into the government sector. 2 is that there are too many entities that we deal with. There is the government itself, there is an advisor, there is a vendor, and therefore the handoffs as a result of that then become a bit difficult for us to be able to provide you with solutions, and provide you with solutions quickly, because everybody has a point of view and we've got to grapple with that across. Reconciliation processes currently are cumbersome and difficult. KYC onboarding is a big challenge. We as a bank, are governed by RBI regulations, and so therefore, as we think about KYC, it is a very, very critical component for us, and sort of we get really punished by RBI if the KYC is not done as per RBI guidelines. However, I think we've been able to grapple with many of these challenges. We are the leading banking partner with many government entities. We are the leader in smart cities, and we'll talk about Raipur city, which is, to the best of my knowledge, is the only payments and solutions package that has been fully executed in the country. We've got fully automated digital solutions both for the vendors as well as for consumers. There is a focus on financial inclusion. We use a lot of technology in our microfinance business itself, where we've got in excess of 1.5 million customers, all women, who borrow from us anything between 10 to 15,000 rupees. We are able to onboard them through eKYC. We are able to give them an instant credit solution and be able to disburse to them through a debit card, all this even in the microfinance space. So let's look at some use cases that we've been working on in the education space. If you look at the three stakeholders, if you look at what is the need and what are the solutions that we have, for the parents and students, smooth fee collection is obviously, and I find it quite amazing that even for my daughters, etc., I'm still paying not electronically, but they insist on a check or a DD, even in a city like Bombay. And I think there's a lot of work that we can do there. However, we are working through our distribution network across the country to be able to provide an easy pay online solution where parents will be able to simply, through our payment gateway, either through a mobile app or online, be able to make payments on a monthly basis. In fact, be able to also set up standing instructions so that the payment is going through on a monthly basis. Foreign travel for students or for teachers, etc. We have simple solutions. A Forex card, you no longer need to carry cash. A Forex card which you can actually hold 16 currencies with a single PIN number is something that is already available and hugely popular. We have an excess of a 40% market share within this space. For the vendor and employees, salary payments is something that we do, not just for education, but for others as well. A single file upload is all we require from the institution, and we don't hold that money at all. That money is in turn transferred to the employees on the same day. So therefore, there is significantly lower pain as far as the institution is concerned, and the employees get their salary exactly at the time that they require. From a cash management perspective, we provide cash management facilities for cash pickup, across the country, cash as well as check pickups. We also work with institutions to be able to provide MIS. For example, for us to be able to make this whole reconciliation process. Remember, there are multiple, fee collections that are happening. There's some mispayments, etc. We've got a simple reconciliation solution, such that what we're trying to do is effectively make the finance and accounts departments in many of these institutions redundant, because we're able to, now provide solutions which are online and pretty much available to you at a click of a button. Moving on, within the healthcare space, we are already working on a work-in-progress model where we are able to provide a integrated solution for the National Health Mission. Whether it is a payment solution, managing vendors and beneficiaries, fund allocation and management, and finally account management, the entire end-to-end process is something that we are working on with one of the state governments. What is already available is a solution within the dairy sector, a collection solution. It's primarily an app-based solution. We also have a card-based solution within that space. We have enabled both farmer payments have gotten digitized, as also bulk subsidy payments have got digitized, and we've also tied up with a technical service provider to be able to integrate the dairy platform to capture end-to-end farmer data to be able to deliver smart cards. Similarly, we've done work within the grain procurement space as well as within the agri procurement space. One of the things we are very proud of is the integration that we've done in the e-tendering process for Coal India, where we have integrated our payment solution within this space. And what we've also created a host-to-host connectivity for MIS, etc., to Coal India. But I think one of the beauty here is that we also have instant auto refunds for unsuccessful bidders. And so therefore that whole process of being able to sort of pay unsuccessful bidders quickly was a problem that Coal India had. We've been able to solve for that through a technology solution, as also be able to provide through a host-to-host connectivity to customers, to Coal India. We spoke about Raipur and the smart city solution. It's an entire integrated solution here, looking at transit, education, tourism, retail, taxes, and so on and so forth. What we're really looking to do within the smart city space is to be able to digitize, payments across various transport modes, tourist attractions, utility bills, toll, healthcare, education, taxes, and so on and so forth. We've already done that in Raipur, and we'll talk about in just a moment. We are the service provider in terms of automated payments for the Kochi Metro that is already being integrated into the waterways and buses in Kochi. And so therefore that single card and app, so you can actually book a ticket on an app, but you also get a Kochi One card issued by Axis Bank, which you can use not just on the Kochi Metro or on the waterways, but if you want to go to McDonald's and buy a burger, you can use the same card. So it is an open loop contactless card that we've been able to create for Kochi Metro. We have a similar solution for the Bangalore bus service, which is in place, and of course the Raipur Smart City. And we have an entire range of products and solutions that are available for us to be able to provide citizen level solutions within payments and collections, to be able to provide MIS and such capabilities to the government entities. And as we work towards delivering the Prime Minister's vision of a cashless India, we've been participating within that space, with the citizens, but also with various government entities across the country, as we have just spoken. Finally, on new technologies, we've been hearing a lot during the day about new technologies. We actually have a incubation center in Bangalore called Thought Factory. Thought Factory works with multiple startup entities. It is a center of excellence for us as far as artificial intelligence is concerned, and we're looking for various products and solutions that we can provide to our various customers and banking partners as we provide for a future digital India. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.